Good. Okay. Good afternoon, Shari. Thank you for being here from the Deaf Action League. We're here at our Jefferson Parish Emergency Operations Center in Gretna to stress the importance of preparing early for this year's hurricane season, which is forecasted to be a very high-impact season. So I do want to acknowledge many folks with us today. Councilwoman Arito Bohannon is here. Oh, our newest elected councilman, Tim Kerner from District 1. We have Chief Brett Lawson from Gretna. I think Mayor Constant is walking in the building right now, as well as many other representatives from our other council and mayor's offices. So thank you all for being with us today. And we're going to have a list of speakers as well that I will introduce when they come up. So I know everybody's busy this time of year. Appreciate you being with us. We have been in close contact with all of our partner agencies that you see here today to make sure we're all prepared as possible for this year's hurricane season. Just last week, we hosted our partners at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and the National Weather Service right here at our Emergency Operations Center here in Gretna. We were very honored. The rest of the country really looks forward to that forecast that they do, and we were honored to be able to host them this year right here in this room. So NOAA's outlook for the 2025 season, which obviously runs from June 1st to November 30th, predicts an above-average season, forecasting a range of 13 to 19 total named storms, 6 to 10 of which are predicted to become hurricanes, and 3 to 5 of those reaching Category 3 strength or higher. Given the higher than average forecast this year, we're urging residents to take this seriously and plan very early. So some important points that I want everybody to know, and Ken Graham was here with us from the National Weather Service giving this year's forecast from NOAA and the National Weather Service, and he said something that I never forgot since I heard it. This was his quote: "Every Cat 5 hurricane that has hit this country was a tropical storm or less just 3 days before landfall." Listen to that statistic, okay? I'm going to say it again. Every Cat 5 hurricane that has hit this country was a tropical storm or less just 3 days before landfall. So you can imagine with that statistic that the big ones grow fast and come at us even quicker, what challenges that presents to folks like us who are in this business of doing disaster management, and to areas as big as ours where we have a lot of people who live here, 1 million people who live in the greater New Orleans area, having to all get out in such a short period of time. Very challenging statistic to have to live with, and it seems like this is the patterns of Mother Nature that they're harder and harder for us to live with. Okay, I also want to make the point that you can listen to us, you can listen to credible sources, which I encourage you all to do, media, when a storm is in the Gulf, but everybody needs to understand that it's individual family decisions that need to be made ahead of time, because everybody's situation is different. For instance, if you are someone very elderly and it's difficult for you to be without air conditioning, or the major advances that we have as a community, and it's difficult for you to survive, then that family decision is for you to leave early, right? That's your individual family decision, versus if you are a household of young, strong people who can live without air condition, or move around quickly, or very mobile. That's a different situation. If you're someone on dialysis, or you're in need of medical equipment and need to have stable medical equipment always available to you to survive, those are decisions that you have to make early as a family. Or even knowing moving people who are elderly and evacuating people is a risk in and of itself. Those are the balances and the risks that you and your family have to manage for yourselves, and that's the thought process you need to be going through right now. Another point I want to make that we've learned, post-storm is more dangerous than during a storm. We saw that in Ida. We lost more lives after the storm passed because of a breakdown of society, because of no lights, because of carbon monoxide poisoning, all of these things. Post-storm has been more dangerous, we have found, in this country than during the storm. Okay, so today we're gathered here ahead to start this hurricane season and to remind our residents how critical it is to be prepared early and to stay weather aware. Storms are becoming more frequent, strengthening more quickly, and rapidly intensifying while approaching the coastlines. All of these storms rapidly intensifying: Michael, Dorian, Laura, Ida, Ian, Lee, Otis, Milton. Just in the past couple years, we're rapidly intensifying storms. Jefferson Parish prepares all year for hurricane season, which starts right now with the safety of our citizens being our first priority. However, we also want to make sure residents do their part in having their plan in place and evacuating as soon as possible if advised by authorities to do so. In preparation for this year's hurricane season, we have reviewed and updated our emergency plans and have assigned and trained essential personnel for their duties. Our emergency management team has conducted a series of tabletop exercises, shelter training, and EOC activation training. Just last week, we conducted our annual hurricane evacuation exercise for our parish departments and state agencies and first responders. We had 19 different agencies and departments working with us on that training to improve our evacuation process. For the first time, we activated both evacuation sites in this training at the Ilario Center and at Vineyard Church in Kenner. We increased the number of people that went through the evacuation process, and by inviting emergency team and monitoring the exercises at our EOC using real-time drone footage. Since Hurricane Ida, we have altered our plans to better address storms that are intensifying with little warning, increased fuel, more generators, advanced sheltering strategies, additional food contracts for workers, host more trainings for our staff, updated our technology in the EOC to better monitor in real time, especially areas outside our levee protection system, added staff to our activation teams, and implemented our crisis tractor, which Joe Valiente is going to go more over that software that we have. Some preparations that citizens can make now before it's too late. Keep in mind that riding out a storm is never your best option. Know your possible evacuation routes and create an evacuation plan so that you get out of harm's way as soon as possible. Don't wait on contraflow or a mandatory evacuation order, as we might not have enough time to issue these ahead of the storm. Check in with your neighbors, especially the elderly, on their plans, and make sure your car is in working order. Prepare a go kit with personal items so that you can quickly pack when it is time to evacuate with little notice, including water, 1 gallon per person per day for at least 3 days, food for your family and for your pets, important documents, IDs, insurance cards, home deeds, lease, car titles, medical records, extra clothes, first aid kit, medications, and a list of prescriptions, and pictures and videos of your property, both inside and outside your home, as well as vehicles left behind. A list of emergency contracts and locations you can access in a hurry. And again, fill your prescriptions ahead of time, meaning right now, get those prescriptions filled. If sheltering in place, we want to stress the importance of not staying in a trailer during high winds. Even if you're not in the path of a storm, you could possibly still be affected by the impacts of flooding, storm surge, tornadoes, or high winds. It's important to not have the mindset that because you're not in the cone that you are safe. Even with winds decreasing when a storm makes landfall, hurricane force winds can be felt as far as 150 miles inland. The stronger the storm, obviously, the further the winds can be felt. And regardless of the immediate impact of the storm, you need to always keep in mind that there could be a long recovery with potentially no electricity or water. In closing, and before I invite everyone else up to the podium to share information about their specific department and agency, I can't stress enough the importance of paying attention to the guidance from local officials and trusted sources because misinformation is easily spread during these times, especially on social media, okay? Follow your local media outlets, the National Weather Service, and our Jefferson Parish official stations. For real-time updates, text JP Alert to 888-777 or JP Noticias for our Spanish-speaking citizens to 888-777. And you want to stay informed with critical information throughout our Jefferson Parish website through www.jeffparish.gov and various social media pages. So we want to thank everyone for being here today, and just remember to be safe and just be very informed this hurricane season. So we're going to have, I want to invite our council members to speak, Rita Bohannon and Tim, I'm used to say, about ready to say Mayor, Councilman Tim Kerner, if you want to come up and speak.
Good afternoon, Rita Bohannon, Councilwoman for District 4. This is a very, very busy time for us. Lots of preparation, lots of meetings. The municipalities all holding their own separate meetings, gathering our experts together. They're going to give you lots of advice today. For us, for the council, I would suggest that you look at our pages on social media, especially during events. We try to keep everything up to date. As soon as we get information, we pass it out. Make sure you follow closely the social media of the parish as well, because we're trying to get information as quickly as we can to you. So staying informed and prepared, like the parish president said, is the best advice that we can give you. So we're going into the season as prepared as we can be, and you're going to hear some of that from our experts today. So thanks for tuning in.
Good morning, good afternoon. And again, look, just make sure you pay attention. We can't emphasize that enough. Listen to your leaders. At the end of the day, the families make the final call. And again, we're gonna, if a bad storm comes and we tell you to leave, then that's something that I encourage you to start preparing for now. We had so many false alarms in the past. And with Hurricane Ida, we just saw how bad, when it does turn the wrong way and it does end up bad, that false sense of security we can no longer have. We actually had a life that was lost from that storm. So let's make sure to mitigate that and not try to prevent that from happening. And again, just tell everybody out there, if you're listening, if you have family members in senior centers, if you have them in any kind of spaces where maybe they're unable to get out easy, start that plan now. Start that plan now. Don't leave them there if you can. Take care of your family members. And I'm fortunate to be in a district where we have some of the most experienced municipalities when it comes to storms. We've sometimes hit the hardest, but from Grand Isle to Lafitte to city officials in Gretna, these people are the best in the country at what they do. And I'm prepared to aid them in any way possible, and we will be prepared for these storms. But please just ensure that you pay attention to everything and listen to your elected leaders, because I could assure you, anything we say, we're getting directly from the experts that have a high probability of what's happening. So thank you.
Okay, next, Joe Valiente is our Director of Emergency Management. You know him well. I always joke that this is his house. So, Joe, come up, please. Thanks.
Thank you, Madam President, and good afternoon, everyone. So I do want to echo one thing that the parish president said. She really touched on quite a few points. But since 2017, we've had 10 Cat 3, 4, or 5 hurricanes hit somewhere along the Gulf coastline. 3 of those, 10, hit the Louisiana coastline. That's 30%. So we know that the weather patterns are shifting, and as the parish president said, they are becoming more unpredictable, rapid intensifying, and increasing in frequency. And I'll leave that at that. But I do want to tell you what we've done in the last year and a half from a cultural standpoint of view to improve the quality of our workforce. We've expanded our outreach to include all essential departments. And FEMA calls that the whole community approach, and that's important. We've expanded our training, as the parish president touched on, and Sarah Babcock will add to, training opportunities by offering FEMA-certified courses to the Jefferson Parish workforce. Additional training improves employee performance, it boosts morale, it increases engagement, and it enhances our ability as a workforce to adapt and flex to changing situations, which during a hurricane or a storm, that doesn't stop. It's constantly changing from hour to hour. We have trained over 250 area students from every discipline, from the hospitals to the levee districts, you name it, we've done it, DOTD. We have 16 Jefferson Parish employees have completed the FEMA Basic Academy, of which our parish president did, and she is the only parish president in the state of Louisiana to have a Basic Academy certification. We're very proud of that. So the next thing that I want to mention is that the Crisis Track. Crisis Track is a program that we use that's going to help us collect data post-damage assessment. And with that data, we're going to be able to get faster public assistance and individual assistance released to the affected area. It's very, very important. We spent 1.5 years developing the training program. We've had 2 exercises to that point. The program works, and it allows us to collect the necessary data that FEMA needs to approve the various programs under individual assistance that's going to help the people that need it the most. We can't wait 8 weeks for SBA to show up. We can't wait 8 weeks for individual assistance to start opening up programs. The faster we get this data to FEMA, the faster these programs get opened. And that's the deal. We understand it, and we've been training toward that goal. And I'm proud to say that we have 80 Jefferson Parish employees that are trained at this, and they are ready to go. We have not met. We are planning in early June to meet with the Louisiana National Guard, Coast Guard, Corps of Engineers, JPSO, and all the incorporated law enforcement, EMS, and fire services, so we can identify roles and responsibilities, situational awareness, and the whole community again. That's going to keep popping up. We have spoken with our Lang partners. The 253rd Battalion was deployed to Croatia for what they call the rear deck, which is the back third. We've already had excellent conversation with them. We know who all the liaisons are now. We don't see any drop in service whatsoever from Lang. As a matter of fact, they're very anxious to lean forward and step in and help us. So with that note, I just want everybody to know that Jefferson Parish is storm ready. We are ready at every level, operationally and from a training standpoint of view. We are ready. So thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Next, we have Chief Administrative Assistant over our public health side, Sarah Babcock.
Good afternoon. So this year, as the parish president and Director Valiente have mentioned, we continue to improve. So we're not just doing the same exercises as before. We are taking them to the next level, constantly trying to increase our readiness. We have just exercised our evacuation plan, trying to figure out how to do things faster, how to do it if we were missing staff, how to increase the flow rate, because we know that these storms are moving faster. We've also increased our sheltering capabilities, working with our surrounding partners, trying to increase the number of people we can keep in a shelter and the services that we can provide in those. We've also been working on our recovery functions. As Joe mentioned, his team has been working on the crisis tracker to submit data. My side has been working on how can we set up disaster recovery centers quicker. The one thing I want the residents to know in Jefferson Parish, if you have damage in a storm, the #1 place we want you to go to report that is damage.la.gov. That helps us, it feeds into the crisis tracker, and that helps us get a lot of the information we need when we're submitting applications to the federal government for individual assistance. We've also been meeting with our healthcare facilities to make sure they are ready to go. Our hospitals, our nursing homes, assisted living, pharmacies, dialysis, all of those people are really critical, and we will continue to coordinate with them throughout the hurricane season. If you are going to need transportation in an evacuation, it's really important that you go to our transit website, or you go to jeffparish.gov/storms to get information on how to evacuate and what you need to take with you. The best way to evacuate is always going to be with family and friends. That is going to be the fastest, safest, most comfortable way for you to evacuate. But if you do not have transportation out, you can go to any bus stop in Jefferson Parish and be taken to an evacuation site. And then you'll be taken from there to a shelter managed by the state. People can only bring one bag with them, so bring personal items, medication. You can bring medical equipment. If you have a lot of medications, complications, bring any of that paperwork. You can also bring pets through this process. So bring your pet, preferably with a leash and a carrier, along with its food and medications, and we will evacuate that pet with you. If you or a loved one are bedridden, you rely on home health or hospice, you have serious medical equipment in your home, and you are unable to get to a bus stop, you can sign up for our medical needs registry online at jeffparish.gov/storms or by calling 504-323-1818. Finally, if you want to volunteer with us, we are always looking for volunteers to participate in evacuation, sheltering, and community distribution sites, and you can go to jeffparish.gov/storms to sign up there. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Next, our Director of Drainage for Jefferson Parish, Ben Lapine.
Thank you, Madam President. In short, Public Works is prepared. We've tested all of our equipment, which includes our pumps and backup generators, so we're ready to go. But our most important asset is our the ability to activate 550 Public Works employees to respond to the aftermath of the storm. Most, if not all, of these employees have been through several storms to gain the experience. With regards to each department, we'll start with water. Our East Bank and West Bank plants have safe rooms where operators can go to operate during and after the storm. They also have a 5-day supply of fuel for the backup generators to protect ourselves from any long-term energy outage. Similarly, with sewer, they have the safe rooms with a 5-day supply of fuel, and they also have portable pumps and generators to deploy to keep lift stations operational and functional during power outages. We also have the ability to bring in vacuum trucks as necessary. With regards to streets, engineering, and parkways, we'll be ready after the storm. We have the people that will go out and do reconnaissance and immediately start clearing roadways and fixing traffic signals. With regards to drainage, we have 193 of 194 pumps in operations. We have one pump out in Lafitte at the Oak Street pump station. That pump has a portable in place, so we have full capacity, and it's projected to be repaired within the next week. Lastly, if it's important to remember, Public Works departments have the ability, if necessary, to bring in additional forces. We have contracts in place that we can increase manpower if necessary. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. Next is our Director of East Bank Consolidated Fire Department, Chief Charles Hudson.
Good evening, everyone. Today I stand before you to provide you with the latest brief of the Jefferson Parish Fire Department and Fire Services readiness to respond to the 2025 hurricane season. All fire resources have been tested and maintenance for immediate ability to respond if needed today. We have additional resources in place such as shallow water boats, high water rescue trucks, raised pickup trucks and SUVs, 2 3,000-gallon water tankers that will be strategically placed on East Bank and West Bank. All fire personnel are being briefed on their department plans and advised to review plans for their own properties and families' evacuation for 2025. For our community residents, we ask that you plan for your homes and your families. Our immediate concern is fire safety and the use of specialized equipment during and after tropical weather. Power outages are always a major concern for residents sheltering in place. Have your generators serviced now. Make sure they're functioning properly. Plan for the setup using a portable generator 20 feet away from the home and let a 20-minute cool-down period before refueling. Check your fuel storage containers to make sure they're still in good shape. Over time, the seams of those containers from the heat outside storage begin to separate, causing the containers to leak. Check the batteries in both your smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. It's critical to have a carbon monoxide detector either portable or mounted in your home during generator usage. Have a plan for securing your home if tropical weather is predicted. Think about your window protection, securing loose obstructions in your home, and pick up all loose items in the yard such as patio furniture, collapsible tents, and other decorative items. Attempt to secure those items that cannot be stored away, such as swing sets, structure canopies, trampolines, lightweight sheds or storage containers. Review your home checklist for emergency supplies, food, water, batteries, flashlights, and other essential needs, including emergency documents and medical documentation. In closing, rest assured the fire service protections of the entire parish of Jefferson are ready and will be available for service for 2025.
Thank you, Chief. Next, from Entergy, Customer Service Manager Jimmy Aiken. Jimmy, thanks.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you to everybody here for allowing me to be here today to speak on behalf of Entergy. So with hurricane season officially beginning on June 1st, Entergy is prepared for what 2025 may bring, and we're asking our customers to do the same. Our preparation is year-long. We stay ready because we know it only takes one storm to make it a bad storm season. We're constantly working to improve the power grid by installing new poles and cross arms and upgrading equipment to exceed the highest industry standards. You may have noticed new poles going into the ground in your area recently. This is all part of the resiliency plan that was approved by the Louisiana Public Service Commission back in April of '24. We're replacing dated infrastructure with taller, wider poles to withstand 140-mile-per-hour winds. The goal is to mitigate damage after a catastrophic event and restore power at a quicker rate. We will continue to invest and make upgrades to our grid to make it more resilient to the effects of severe weather to better service our customers. You may also see energy tree crews addressing vegetation issues out in your area. We do this to mitigate any damage from trees and limbs falling into power lines during any major storms. Energy personnel are also conducting annual storm drills at the current moment. This allows us to go through a hurricane simulation, so it helps us to better prepare when there is a catastrophic event such as a hurricane. We get to learn and review lessons learned from past storms and also from any future storms that we may have. Unfortunately, living in South Louisiana, we know storm response all too well. And in the event of a hurricane, we have many dedicated employees who work tirelessly to get the lights back on to our communities. I personally will work hand in hand with our local elected officials to keep y'all updated on just the outages and where we stand and how many days we're looking if, in fact, you do lose power during a storm. We also have contract and mutual aid partners ready to go as soon as the storm passes to begin restoring power to our communities. And since we serve a large portion of South Louisiana, we are able to shift workers, resources, and materials around as needed. So this is definitely helpful in the event that the storm hits east, west, or a direct impact on us, Jefferson Parish. Safety is critical during a hurricane, and we have a saying at Energy that the only good restoration is a safe restoration. The most dangerous part of a storm is often after the storm is hit. So we're asking that if anybody comes into contact with down power lines, even if you do not have power, please report that to either 911 or the 1-800-ENERGY number. Please stay away from any down power lines. I cannot stress that enough. Also, if you see line workers in your area working, please keep a safe distance for not only your safety, but for the line workers' safety as well. We want everybody to be able to go home to their families after this hurricane. I often get asked, how can we stay informed or how can we stay updated on what y'all are doing within the area and when I may see power restored. I encourage each one of our customers to update their profile on their Entergy account. Update your cell phone number, your home phone number, your email, and the method in which you would like to be contacted. This will ensure that you are receiving texts, phone calls, emails, etc., to keep you updated on our progress during a storm. You can also sign up for text alerts by texting REG, that's R-E-G, to 36778. Once again, that's REG, R-E-G, to 36778. If you are on social media, you can follow us on Facebook and X. We will constantly provide updates as we receive them from the field on all of our social media outlets. You can also check updates on Energy Storm Center at energystormcenter.com or on the View Outage map at entergy.com/viewoutage. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for allowing me to be here today, and we hope everyone has a safe and quiet storm season. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy. Atmos Energy Public Affairs Manager, Leah Obie, will be next. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you. With an above normal 2025 Atlantic hurricane season being predicted and hurricane season beginning on June 1st, Atmos Energy would like to take this opportunity to give a timely reminder for our customers to be aware of natural gas safety measures that will keep homes, businesses, and families prepared throughout the summer and the early fall. We are constantly monitoring the strength and trajectories of tropical storms and hurricanes with the potential to make landfall in the communities that we serve. Preparing for a weather event is a year-round exercise for Atmos Energy, and recent years have shown that hurricanes of any size can pose a threat to life and property. So we want everyone to remember that the best time to plan is now, long before a storm arrives. As a reminder, after any severe weather event, please do not use natural gas equipment if it is flooded or damaged without first contacting qualified service professionals to have it inspected. Our highly trained technicians are emergency responders who maintain the safe operation of our natural gas system. If any customer experiences an interruption in service, our skilled technicians will restore service after local conditions are deemed safe. Whether it is a hurricane or flooding or other severe weather event, please observe these important safety tips. If flooding does occur and gas appliances are underwater, do not try to operate the appliances. Instead, contact Atmos Energy or a qualified service professional to conduct a safety inspection. During a natural disaster or severe weather event, do not turn off natural gas at the meter. even if evacuations are issued. If you think you smell gas, immediately leave the affected area, and from a safe distance, call 911 or Atmos Energy's 24-hour emergency response line, and that number is 866-322-8667. Never try to find the source of a gas leak, and do not use a mobile phone or anything that might cause a spark, such as a generator. If a natural gas meter is damaged or a gas line is exposed, immediately leave the area and call the Atmos Energy 24-hour emergency response line at 866-322-8667. Know where your natural gas meter is located and make sure it's visible and free of trash and debris. Mechanical equipment used to clean up after a storm may damage the meter if it is hidden. Natural gas distribution pipelines are mostly underground, but can be damaged by uprooted trees and shifted foundations. After a storm, call 811 to have the location of underground utilities marked, as gas service lines could become tangled. Atmos Energy customers experiencing a natural gas outage or service interruption should contact the company's customer service number, and that's 888-286-6700. Service will be restored as quickly as possible once the area is deemed safe, and more information about this process is available on our service restoration page on our website at atmosenergy.com. Thank you. Wish everyone a happy and safe storm season.
Thank you. Next, we're going to have Jesse Noel, who's is the Regional Director of our Southeast Louisiana Flood Protection Authority West.
Thank you, Madam President. We at the Flood Protection Authority West are prepared for this hurricane season. We have exercised all of our gates and systems and held coordination exercises with our local, state, and federal partners. We completed system-wide inspections in April and have recently run full tests on all 3 of our main navigable sector gates and pumping systems. All of our systems are functioning as designed, and we have confidence that the system will perform if called upon. Should we experience a hurricane this year, we ask citizens to pay attention to local authorities and heed their warnings, especially if evacuations are ordered. We also ask everyone to stay off the levees and waterways during and after storms for your safety and to ensure the integrity of the flood protection. For information on gate and waterway closures during an event, you can visit our website at slfpaw.org, where you can sign up for text alerts for the closure structures. You can also follow us on Facebook, X, and LinkedIn for up-to-date information on our operations. Thank you.
Okay, we'll have Ryan Foster, who is Director of Engineering of Flood Protection Authority East.
Thank you, Madam President. At the Flood Protection Authority East, we manage the risk reduction system on the east bank of the Mississippi River in East Jefferson, Orleans, and St. Bernard parishes. Year-round, we operate and maintain the components of the system, which includes 192 miles of levees and flood walls, 246 land-based floodgates, 8 marine closure structures, 3 pumping stations at the outfall canals, and a 1.8-mile-long surge barrier that blocks storm surge from Lake Borgne and the Gulf. We have exercised our gates, completed our quarterly and annual inspections, and completed our hurricane tabletop exercise with our partners in preparation for the upcoming season. All pumps have been inspected, and the final pump at the London Avenue Canal Pump Station is being tested today and tomorrow, bringing us back to full capacity with all 17 pumps operational. The system has performed as designed for past events such as Hurricane Barry, Zeta, and Ida, but every storm is different. Please base your storm decisions on instructions and guidance from state, parish, and local officials. Please remember, this is a risk reduction system, which means we can never eliminate all risks. Please do your part. The time is now to create your plans, stock your supplies, and stay weather aware. Thank you.
And last but not least, we're going to have our partners with the Home Builders Association, Mr. Dan Mills, the CEO of the Home Builders Association of Greater New Orleans.
Thank you, Madam President. As Jefferson Parish celebrates its 200th year, the Home Builders Association of Greater New Orleans has been providing residential housing for 84 of those years. I want to speak to you today about the need for wind mitigation surveys. A licensed wind mitigation surveyor is available for about $300. Will come out to your home and assess your individual structure for wind mitigation features. They will provide you with a survey that has two functions. Number one, it can provide you with guidance on things you can do to improve the resiliency of your home. And number two, that survey can be provided to your insurance carrier, and the majority will reduce their insurance premiums due to the wind mitigation features already installed in your home that simply haven't been documented yet. In addition, tax deductions of up to $5,000 for improvements are available. For details, visit the Louisiana Department of Insurance's website at ldi.la.gov. Roof replacements are also important. It's very important to recognize that Louisiana has adopted more resilient codes, and by law, a secondary water barrier is required for all roof replacements across the state of Louisiana. In Jefferson Parish, a new permit is required for re-roofing any roof that is required over 50%. There is a low fee of $50. It's documented with geotagged photos, and it ensures adherence to FEMA-recognized codes and Louisiana law. With regard to generators, the chief covered many important aspects. I want to add that you should never connect a portable generator to your home's electrical system. Always use UL-approved outdoor grounded cords. For home generators, they must be installed and inspected by a licensed electrician in the state of Louisiana and inspected by a municipal inspector. They should be operated weekly and maintained regularly, and of course, as mentioned, the carbon monoxide detectors are critical for safety. With regard to home openings, this is the most vulnerable area of your home. We're talking about windows and doors. The best protection is professionally installed shutters or panels or Kevlar fabric solutions now available. They're lightweight. An example would be hurricane fabric. If this is unavailable, the old standard pre-cut 5/8-inch plywood for each opening of your home for quick installation when needed. Don't forget to reinforce garage doors. That can be done with a brace, or there are also kits available. We have learned that the exposure of the garage door is a broad surface, and breaking that garage door can create pressure within the home and can cause tremendous damage. It's always important to ensure that when you hire a contractor to work on your home, that you hire a Louisiana licensed contractor. We have reciprocal agreements for out-of-state contractors, but they must register with the licensing board. So you can find and verify the licensure at lslbc.louisiana.gov. You should avoid scams by ensuring you get a written scope of work, and you should not be paying for your repairs 100% upfront. Also, never assign your insurance policy rights to third-party contractors. Other basics include trimming trees, clearing gutters, inspecting doors and windows, and please help the municipal authorities by clearing storm drains in and around your property. Also, consult with your insurance professional to understand coverage and claims associated with your property. In closing, you can visit hbagno.org for these resources and more. Find a licensed contractor, or you can attend a storm prep event being hosted in partnership with Jefferson Parish at the Yinny Building on May 31st, where you can obtain all of these information and meet with many of the folks behind me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, that was all our speakers. We can open it up to any questions that anybody might have. Anyone? Yes.
Definitely since Francine, whenever we saw all of those homes flooded, and especially Kenner, just wondering if there was anything found during the after-action review and if any concrete changes.
Okay, I'm gonna let our Director of Drainage discuss.
No concrete changes. We fixed all the mechanical issues that did happen during Francine. Those were repaired the week after Francine. We also worked closely with our partners with the airport, as well as other partners with Sewage and Water Board, who all have a vested interest of dewatering the system. So,
A really quick update on airport pumps. You know, our SCADA reports do give us some access. We have had ongoing attempts at ongoing conversations with New Orleans City Council, and unfortunately, despite our best efforts to secure a meeting, we've not been able to do so. And the one we did secure was canceled by New Orleans. So we are going to continue to put some pressure on so that we can have more of a regional approach to some of these storms, including the airport.
I know y'all talked a little bit about employees training with them. I know y'all talked a little bit about the prices track, but employees were trained there, and then there's another type of training for 250 employees. I believe you said were trained in that specifically. Can you dive into a little bit of that, specifically what you mean in training? What were they trained in? Talk to me a little bit about that again.
Can you talk about evacuation?
Sure. Sure. FEMA authorizes dozens of certified courses to help emergency management and homeland security. So we choose the courses that we think that our coordinators, that our workforce need to take to get them better understanding of what emergency management is about. So the 250 people went through the basic academy course. And to that point, the state typically is only given one basic academy every year. That can only hold 40 people. What we did was we offered to sponsor one in parallel with theirs at different dates so that we didn't conflict, and we were able to get twice as many people certified through that FEMA Basic Academy course. It's 5 courses that covers 5 different disciplines that all deal with emergencies, preparation, recovery, and response. So we literally quadrupled the amount of people that were trained as opposed to the one-year course that FEMA used to put on within the state. So it was just a proactive measure that we took because we wanted to get our workforce trained so that all of our departments understood the emergency management principles and the importance of preparedness, risk identification, mitigation, and so forth. So this was a priority for us. And I can tell you that it's made a huge difference in the way that our team meetings and our cluster meetings go with all the various departments. We're all on the same page now. And they all understand the sense of urgencies of their individual jobs, whether it's sewage, water, streets, whatever. So we're a much stronger, better disciplined workforce now because of all this training.
We also do training on shelter. So, you know, we've had to open shelters after Ida, and what I'm most proud of is it's our recreation staff that's been trained to take care of people after storms. And then as I mentioned earlier, and Sarah said, we just got finished, was it last week or the week before? Last week? Public assisted evacuation, where we're really out there with buses, with actors, with dogs, with people, and all of our volunteer agencies actually on the street, acting like we're doing a mass evacuation. So, yes, this is our employees and nonprofit and other state agencies and the sheriff's office and fire departments and everybody who would be activated in a storm. So those conversations are taking place, and we actually go act like we're doing it. Yes, to as much real life scenario as we can incorporate. Yes. Yes.
Sewer systems have been a problem in previous storms, especially with water conservation restrictions on residents. Have there been any improvements?
So overall, we have had major infrastructure improvements. That, you know, people complain about their water bill every year. We call it a utility bill now, but it goes up in January of every year. We've had major, I would say, post-Katrina, we have had major drainage improvements, obviously with Katrina, but now the biggest public works initiative has been on our water and sewer side, with pipe replacement, with lift stations, with backup generators. I don't know, Ben, if you want to talk about it more, but you will see now we're installing automated water reader meters. We have a new water lab that's, you know, almost ready, right? Yeah. So major infrastructure improvements on both the water and sewer side, and our citizens pay for that with the higher increased bill that you see it go up every January. But do you want to give more sewer specific?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much covered it all. The sewer department consistently lines pipes. Infiltration is always a problem. The sewer does back up, but currently they have a program right now going around inspecting all the pipes parish-wide to identify the most important projects moving forward. So they're currently proactively doing that on both the east and west bank. But, you know, consistent upgrades are continuing to be made daily. So, sure.
For energy, I'm curious whether the program that you referenced specifically in building and repurposing the poles and strengthening them, I know that there was something in New Orleans City Council that kind of came on that. Like, tell me how if that's a similar project or is this part of like kind of a region-wide initiative? And then also how much of that work is being done in time for this year's hurricane season, as opposed to a rollout over the next few years?
Sure. So the New Orleans, I work for Energy Louisiana, so the ENO one is voted on by the city council. This was approved by the Louisiana Public Service Commissioners back in April of 2024. The resiliency plan was approved for $2.1 billion over the next 5 years across the entire state. I can confidently say 230 million of that is going right here to Jefferson Parish. Right now, we have about a year's worth of work, maybe a little bit less than a year's worth of work that's been done in the parish. I don't have a specific number of how many poles have gone into the ground, but just know that this is regulated by the Public Service Commission. So we are constantly giving them data and updates on our continued efforts throughout the parish to put new poles in the ground. I forgot your other question as well. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? No? Okay. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you.